Welcome to Techstination, and we are going to have some fun and some music. Yamaha is out with a first-of-its-kind instrument, the YDS-150 Digital Saxophone. Joining us are Yamaha's Wind Instruments Product Manager, John Goldman. Thanks for being here, John.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
And also Lucia Sarmiento, an artist who will be showing us just what this instrument can do. Thank you for being here as well, Lucia.
Thank you so much.
Well, John, Yamaha has a wonderful history, really, of bringing technology to traditional instruments. Many of us are familiar with what you've done with pianos and keyboards. Give us the overview of the challenges in creating a digital saxophone.
Yeah, I mean, let's start with the obvious kind of, splitting of two worlds there, the kind of oxymoron almost of digital saxophone. I mean, an acoustic instrument turned into an electronic instrument. And I want to kind of draw this unofficial line in the sand that this is a digital saxophone. You know, we are not referring to this as an electronic wind instrument or a MIDI controller, even though it does have a lot of that functionality. We are marketing this. This is a digital saxophone. So it features a real saxophone mouthpiece, a real saxophone key layout, a ligature, a reed, an actual brass bell, you know, down there on the bottom. I mean, this is a real brass bell that's integrated into the saxophone itself. And we're speaking to a bit of a different market with this. One of the global missions of Yamaha is to create more music makers. And we feel that this is an instrument, much like some of our endeavors in the past in regards to keyboards and I think of like the Disclavi or Clavinova lines where they can function completely silently. And they also are geared towards people learning how to use or learning how to play music. This is a saxophone that is designed to help bring music makers, new music makers to the table and bring former music makers back to the table while still giving existing saxophone players a very useful tool for practice and performance.
Terrific. And Lucia, what are your thoughts about the need for creating a digital version of this instrument that you love so much?
So for me personally, one of the problems about playing the saxophone has been that it's a very big, heavy instrument. And this has been of great use because I am able to practice for a long time and it's extremely heavy. So John, do you know how much it weighs exactly?
I don't have the exact weight, but this is under 2 pounds.
It is definitely
like
yes,
it's
really
light.
light.
It's the bulk of it is plastic up at the top. The brass, the bell, you know, stops about right there. So it is quite, I was very surprised at how light it was when I took it out of the box. I took it out of the case for the first time. It's, you know, not being a saxophone player, I was expecting, you know, my hands, wrist to get tired and whatnot. But I was able to use it, you know, pretty comfortably to start learning.
And
Yeah.
the traditional curve that we've all known to come and know and in love with the saxophone is not there. So I guess people will be surprised when the sound comes out. Would that be correct, Lucia?
Yes, definitely. There is no learning curve with this. You can pick it up and immediately make a sound without having to worry about embouchure or reeds not working.
Well, let's hear what it sounds like.
Yes, of course.
Your choice of song.
All right.
Beautiful. And you can practice this and control the volume or not have any volume coming out almost at all. Tell us about it.
Yes, correct. You have here two knobs to control the volume that will come out of the speakers. And as well, you can plug some headphones and you can practice totally quiet without bothering your neighbors or your roommates.
I saw on your website that you've been working on an album. I don't know what effect the pandemic has had on that, but tell us about it.
Yeah, sure. I have been working on original music and recording. Definitely the gigging part of being a musician has been off of the table for a few months. So I'm focusing on practicing, working on my craft. I have way more time to do that now, and experimenting with this cool instrument.
Is it difficult to collaborate or perform for other people online as you're doing with us now?
No, not really. There's been a lot of opportunities to do stuff online lately.
And what about collaboration with others that you typically perform with? Are you able to do some of that?
Yes, totally. A lot of remote recording. Most of the stuff has moved online now, and that is great.
And that I'm sure you're looking forward to all of this coming to an end at some point when you can be on a stage or once again, or playing in venues that you love to play in.
Yes, totally. But still adapting, as always.
John, what can you tell us about the availability and pricing of this and the market that you're aiming for?
Sure. So talking specifically again about the customers that we're really targeting with this product, and that is people who are new to music, new to making music, they're big fans of saxophone or any other wind instrument and have always maybe wanted to learn how to play the saxophone. Another player that we worked with on the project is Mindy Abear, and one of the things that she has mentioned is that fans come up to her all the time and say, "Man, I always wanted to learn how to play the saxophone," and now we have something that if you think about the two main barriers to learning a saxophone, it's what you do here at the point where your mouth touches the instrument, your embouchure, the reed, the mouthpiece, and how all that works together to create sound, and the fingers part, what notes, what keys you have to push down to create what pitches and what notes. So by removing the barrier to entry of the first part of that, and like as Lucia mentions, right out of the box, you can pick it up, plug it in or put batteries in, turn it on, and make a real saxophone, a good saxophone sound right away. That's going to, we hope, we feel will give people that first point of gratification that will keep them coming back for more and engage them and want them to start learning how to play the saxophone. And as far as availability, we're looking at, this will start to ship to customers in early November. So we're going to start getting them out the door very late October, first week in November. So they'll be available before the holidays. And the the MSRP is $1,078, and it's going to have a street price around $799.99.
Lucia, are there instances when you would pick this up for performing rather than the traditional saxophone, or what types of use? Obviously practice for long periods, as you mentioned, but what are your thoughts?
Well, personally, I think the biggest use that I would give this instrument is the practice, definitely. But something else that I have been thinking about is that on the side, I work as an elementary school teacher and I direct band. And I teach a lot of beginners, kids who are, let's say, 9 years old, and they have such a hard time picking the saxophone, and because it's so big and it's clumsy, right? And also getting the sound out of the mouthpiece, and they always break the reeds, so it's a whole thing teaching beginner kids. And I have thought how easier it would be if they all could have this, as well as having a real saxophone, so they could play songs right away, and we could avoid getting them frustrated about the instrument being so hard to learn from the start, right?
Really, that's a huge advantage. And I understand you do, looking at your website, you're also doing some teaching online as well.
Yes, I do.
And the website is Lucia, Lucia Sarmiento, SARMIENTO.com. And people can find you there and get in touch as well. John, where's the best place for people to get more information about this
Yeah.
new instrument?
Yeah, we have a dedicated product page for this on the Yamaha USA website. So usa.yamaha.com. And they can follow that and navigate to the saxophone, to wind instruments, to the saxophones, and then jump down, and that's where you'll find the home for this. And we've got all the information, a lot of information there that's up on the website. And if they have any other information or request or stuff they want to learn about it, they can always reach out to us via our social media channels at Yamaha Music USA. You can check out, we've got some posts there. I would strongly suggest in the immediate future, if you want to hear some more playing examples and see some other stuff, I would check out Lucia's Instagram feed. She's got some great videos and stuff up there. And yeah, but as far as the Yamaha side, usa.yamaha.com, and navigate to our saxophone product line.
Well, John and Lucia, we really appreciate you taking the time with us. Lucia, would you mind taking us out with a little more music? You got another tune?
Of course. Of course. Here's a melody to wish you all a great rest of your day.